Growing a business is kind of tricky right now. Supply chains are squeezed, tariffs and trade policies are dynamic, and cash flow, it's tighter than ever. You need clarity to come out on top. Without it, you risk falling behind. If only you could hop in the DeLorean and see the future, right? Thankfully, there's NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite has real-time forecasting to help you move ahead with confidence. This is your AI-powered business management suite and the #1 cloud ERP. Trusted by over 42,000 businesses, NetSuite brings accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all under one roof. It's your single source of truth, giving you the data and control you need to move quickly. And with AI built in, you can automate the busy work and focus on strategy. NetSuite helps you see what's stuck, what it's costing you, and how to pivot fast. If I were running a business with a lot of moving parts, I'd use NetSuite for full control over everything. Tame the chaos with NetSuite. If your revenues are at least in 7 figures, download the free ebook, Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders at netsuite.com/SPI. That's netsuite.com/SPI. The perfect product launch. It's the goal for every brand marketer. High heat, fast sellout, and fans posting recipes like trophies. What do Sydney Sweeney's soap drop, Taylor Swift's tickets, and your next launch have in common? Well, they're not bought, they're bragged about. Fanfare turns your drop into a moment. Fanfare cues real fans, blocks bots, and builds launch experiences worth screenshotting. Want hype without the heartbreak? Get Fanfare's 5-step hype drop playbook with our proven success formula and make your next launch unforgettable at fanfare.io/playbook. Again, fanfare.io/playbook.
I think the first thing that people need to understand and get on board with is it's here.
It's here. Yeah.
It's not coming. It's happening right now. And you can push against it. And that's all well and good, but your business will be passed by people who are leveraging AI. It is an opportunity to streamline your business, work fewer hours, and increase profit.
Today, we're going to be talking about AI for businesses like yours. And we're going to get specific and we're going to get into some strategies. And the reason why I wanted to share that is because I actually had an episode come out earlier in the year about AI, but it was more positioning the fact that because AI is here and because we just can't ignore it, we're in it now, to remember that there is the human element that's necessary, the personalization to still succeed in business. Don't let AI take over your entire business. However, I had a lot of comments from that episode basically saying, Pat, okay, we get that, but what are the good strategies for AI for our business? And there's nobody better than the person that we have on the show today to talk about that, because he has actually changed his business. He's actually pivoted from what he was doing before to dive in headfirst and go expert level on AI for business and application of AI tools to systematize, to get more time back and all those kinds of things from the tools that we now have access to. And I'm speaking about none other than Rick Mulready. That's right, the former host of the podcast, The Art of Online Business. He's somebody who has now shifted his business model to, again, focus on AI. And we're going to get into some specific frameworks to help you inject AI into your brand in a way that makes sense for you, not just kind of get into all the bright, shiny objects that are out there. We're also going to talk about specifically how to prompt AI and tools like ChatGPT to be able to maximize the results coming from them, not just use them right out of the box, if you will, but how to train these systems to be able to work better for you and better for you over time. And then finally, we're going to be talking about specifically the different levels. There's 4 levels of AI, and I found out during this conversation that I was actually just at level 1. The way that I was using AI is maybe level 1.5 max, and we're going to get into how to integrate it into level 2, into level 3, and then eventually into level 4 into your business. So also do know, before we go into this episode, that Rick and I typically have coffee every single week, and I decided that we were going to try something different today for this podcast episode. We were going to bring you along on one of our walks while having coffee. So you might hear some crunching of the ground. You might hear some car noises. You might hear some goats. I'll share with you why those goats exist right at the beginning. But yeah, come on this walk with us. Have some coffee with us and enjoy the show. Here he is, Rick Mulready from rickmulready.com.
You're listening to the Smart Passive Income Podcast, a proud member of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network, a show that's all about working hard now so you can sit back and reap the benefits later. And now your host. If he could live anywhere else in the world right now, he'd live in Japan. Pat Flynn.
With running your own business, legal questions always come with the territory. Like, can I use this contract or agreement? What do I do if a client doesn't pay? Am I even structured the right way for taxes? Instead of Googling your way through legal landmines, imagine having a law firm ready to address your business's legal needs without the sticker shock. That's what you get with Legal Shield's small business plans. Legal Shield helps entrepreneurs access real legal help on contract reviews, collection letters, business formation guidance, and even help navigating IRS audits. Members can schedule consultations, upload documents through the app, and get support from a provider law firm that knows small business laws in your state. Plus, consultations on taxes or trademarks help you stay ahead of potential problems. And if a client is late on a payment, Legal Shield steps in with professional collection letters so you can protect your hard-earned revenue, all for a fraction of the price of hiring a lawyer on your own. Go to LegalShield.com/SPI or call 833-570-9980 to learn more and get big business legal support without a big business budget. That's LegalShield.com/SPI. Hiring shouldn't be a hassle or a drain on your budget. Upwork is your one-stop shop to find, hire, and pay top freelance talent, saving you time and keeping costs in check all in one place. Companies at every stage turn to Upwork to get things done and find more flexibility in the way that they staff key projects and initiatives by assessing a global marketplace filled with top talent in IT, web development, AI, design, administration support, marketing, and more. And I've personally used them myself and can vouch for them. Posting a job on Upwork is easy. With no cost to join, you can register, browse freelancer profiles, get help drafting a job post, or even book a consultation. From there, you connect with freelancers that get you and can easily hire them to take your business to the next level. Upwork makes the entire process easier, simpler, and more affordable with industry-low fees. Post a job today and hire tomorrow with Upwork. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That is Upwork.com to post your job for free and connect with top talent ready to help your business grow. That's UPWORK.com, Upwork.com. Go there now. Rick, welcome back to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I've actually never done a podcast interview like we're doing.
Like walking through. There's literally goats right next to us right now because in our neighborhood, they have goats eat like the dry brush so that they don't catch on fire.
Yeah.
Because fires are a thing here in San
Diego. The
brush,
not on fire, not the goats.
Right. We don't want the goats on fire. The last time I did this was actually with Ramit Sethi.
Yep.
And it was the only other time I've done it. And back then, Caleb was with us, and he had a backpack full of equipment, and there was a wire from that backpack. He was following us with a microphone, and I had to continue to pass the microphone back and forth.
A wired microphone?
A wired microphone, and it was like 20-degree weather in New York.
Oh.
So this is much better.
Yeah.
So what I love about this style is we can just kind of be casual. We're walking. There's a different kind of energy.
Yep.
And I wanted to start with the last time you were on the show, you actually had a podcast. Many people might not know this.
Yep.
But you don't have that show anymore.
I do not.
What happened and why?
I decided to sell the podcast.
Sell the podcast?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a wild thing to think about.
That's kind of the reaction that people give me when I tell them what, it's kind of weird to say what happened with it because nothing happened with it. It was something that came up in a conversation with somebody who used to be one of my coaches inside of my coaching program. So he was coaching members of my program. He is one of the early members of the coaching program that I used to have. I've gotten to know him over the years, just a great person. And it just sort of came up in conversation in early 2023 and decided that with the move that I was making into AI and teaching AI, which we're going to be talking about, to online businesses, that, yeah, let's do this. Like, it's an opportunity that I never in a million years thought that I would sell the podcast.
Well, why sell the podcast instead of just talk about the thing you want to talk about on the show that you already had?
Yeah, and that's something I thought a lot about because obviously I had, there's a built-in audience that I built up over the years. I mean, the show was very successful, but I felt like I didn't want to, I've been talking about one type of, serving online businesses in all different facets, right? From, scaling and ads and team and hiring and all this stuff. I want to talk about AI. And right now, at this point, I only want to be talking about AI.
Oh, okay.
Except if I'm doing like one-on-one coaching, which I'm doing a few clients right now. So I didn't think it made sense to kind of like, hey, okay, you've been listening to the podcast now for, 6 years.
Yeah.
And now I'm shifting gears.
Right.
I just didn't think it was the right thing to do. Originally, it was like, well, I can create another podcast. But I really instead wanted to focus my attention on YouTube.
Yep.
And so that's sort of what my thought process was behind selling the podcast.
Almost like a fresh start for you in this new sort of era of Rick versus still having to worry about it on the back of your mind kind of thing.
Exactly.
Got it.
Are people getting angry? Are they just going to stop listening because all of a sudden this is all I'm talking about when this isn't what they quote signed up for when they, subscribe to the podcast. So yeah, it just made a lot of sense. Start fresh. I don't think I would have sold the podcast to anybody else because, this person had been a guest on the show a lot.
Oh, so the audience already knew him a little bit.
Yeah. And I took a 4-month sabbatical in 2023. This person filled in, Quay Joe is his name. He filled in a lot of the episodes. And so, the audience was being introduced to him. So it just made a lot of sense.
So 4-month sabbatical.
Yeah.
What was the reason behind doing that, and what did you do?
Burnout, man. I was burned out. I didn't realize it. I think I knew like deep down, but I wasn't sort of acknowledging it until it was starting to affect me physically.
Like what were the symptoms?
Like I had this like weird twitching eyebrow. My left eyebrow would twitch during the day, and it came out of nowhere. And I don't think I ever told you about that.
No, I didn't even know about that.
And I was getting headaches every day.
I thought you were winking at me the whole time.
Well, that too. That's just the norm.
Headaches?
Yeah, headaches, and I just wasn't feeling it. I was tired all the time. I couldn't focus, and it just was like, all right, you know what? Something needs to change. And somebody that this person, I know of this person, they just one day in 2023 just closed up shop on their 7-figure business. And it just sort of got me thinking like, well, what if I not close up shop, but like just took a break? And that was something that I never had even considered. So my first conversation wasn't even with Amy, my wife. It was with my bookkeeper / CFO.
Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind in my head. It's like, can I even take a break, like financially?
Exactly. And that's what I said to her. I said, is this even possible? And she said, yes. And she said, and she knows me really, really well. And she said, not only is it possible, I highly recommend it.
Oh, really? Even she said that?
Yeah. She said, because this isn't something that can really go on at this. This isn't sustainable, basically what I was doing. And so, yeah, it was originally going to be a 3-month sabbatical. I hit the 3-month mark and I said, there's no way I'm ready to go back at this point. And so I was really struggling. I was like wrestling with that. And because I had told people that, this was going to be 90 days. And I had people tell me before the sabbatical, they said, 90 days is not enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they said at least 9 to 12 months.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I'm not going to do a year at this point. But anyway, yeah, I tacked on another month. Everybody was super supportive of it. I came back, and that's when the sale of the podcast closed and, was doing the transition of the podcast and then really starting to move into talking about on a more full-time basis, if you will, about AI.
Yeah, I mean, when we have our coffee like we are right now, we're not usually recording a podcast during it, but we're just giving you a little bit of a seat with us as we record this together, which is pretty cool. We've been meeting for coffee for a very long time and also during your sabbatical, and it felt like to me that giving yourself permission to just take a break from everything actually opened up the world to you in terms of what else you can do and what the other possibilities were. And this is where it was during then that I started to really feel from you that your new passion was going to be all the stuff about AI that was going on. You were telling me about these tools and you were showing me how to use them. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
Yeah.
I was also like, dude, you're supposed to be not working, but
right.
It felt like this is like the new passion for you?
I was also building what I call Pick Rick's Brain. It's my coaching AI chatbot. So this is
okay, this is gonna be interesting for everybody listening.
This is literally a chatbot, but we've trained it. I say we, like my team and I have trained it on my 10 years of knowledge. Like we took coaching calls, we took Facebook group questions, we took at the time, my 720 podcast episodes, and we turned all of that content into Q&A.
Like a database, essentially.
A database.
Yeah.
And in AI terms, it's a knowledge base. And I've partnered with a company called CoachVox. And we have built this. I haven't built it. I don't know anything about like the technical side. But we've built this chatbot experience that people can interact with and ask questions as if you were coaching with me. The difference here, and this was the most important thing for me, because it's super easy right now to take all of the SPI episodes. How many episodes have you done?
770-ish.
So take 770 episodes, upload literally the entire podcast, and then allow people to ask questions to it. That's very easy to do. However, we did that, but we did it before the capabilities that exist now, meaning we transcribed them. We transcribed 700 episodes.
Oh, really? So it's all text-based that you uploaded.
Yep. So it's very easy to create a knowledge base now, but the difference that we've created with Pick Rick's Brain is it's conversational. So what I didn't want is if somebody is coming to the chatbot and you just say like, Rick, you say, who should I hire next in my business? There's a general answer that you can give, right?
Right.
But to get a true coaching experience, there's questions that I want to know. Like, well, what does your team currently look like, right? How are you spending your time during the day? What revenue level are you, like, et cetera, et cetera. And so this Pick Rick's Brain coaching AI asks those questions so it's a conversation to get to a personalized answer.
That's neat.
That's most helpful. And so we've created a monthly membership, super inexpensive, and it's blowing people's minds.
Huh. So even though you've quote unquote moved on to talk about and teach AI and you have your YouTube channel now,
Yep.
You in fact have essentially cloned yourself and the way that you coach.
Yep.
So you kind of are still there.
Using AI.
Using AI.
Yep.
Are you upfront with people that this is a bot, it's not
Very
me?
much so.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm very clear. Like, look, I call it my brain, but it's not me typing. It is literally my answers. It is how I would coach somebody, but it is not me. And I'm very clear about that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, AI obviously is something that everybody's talking about right now. I had a podcast episode go live. It was the first one of the year. It was called The Year of AI.
Yep.
And my episode was about how, because it's the year of AI, the human parts of what you do are going to be that much more important.
Yep.
I actually had a lot of people disappointed in that episode because they wanted more info about AI.
Yeah.
Because it is here, it's coming, and
Yep.
it's something you can't ignore and you should embrace. So when it comes to your philosophy on AI, especially with related to our businesses, like, what is your philosophy with AI? How are we to use it? It changes so quickly. Mm-hmm. What are some tips and or strategies that we should use just on a high level as business owners related to what this thing is now available to us?
I think the first thing that people need to understand and get on board with is it's here.
It's here. Yeah.
It's not coming. It's not something that's going to be it's happening right now. And you can push against it, and you can, just say, I'm not going to be using this. I don't agree with it, whatever. And that's all well and good, but your business will be passed by people who are leveraging AI. It is an opportunity to streamline your business. It's going to allow you to, or it allows you to right now, work fewer hours, and increase profit because things are getting done so much more quickly and so much more cheaply. Just as a simple as example, I just did this morning I recorded a YouTube video. I was talking about 9 AI productivity tools that hardly anybody's talking about. One of those tools I talked about was something that I told you about in late 2023 was Opus Clip.
Yep.
Takes long form video and will cut it up into short form clips for you. And the AI does it for you. In the beginning of 2023, I was paying $1,000 a month to an agency to have that done. And there was a limit to the number of long form videos that I could, submit to have clipped, if you will. Right. Well, Opus Clip does that, for example. And there's a lot of AI video editing tools, and I've tested a lot of them. And Opus Clip does what I feel like is the best job at capturing and engaging video and,
Wait, so what exactly does it do for you versus what do you have to teach it or train it to do?
The only thing that you're training it to do, if you will, is you're just telling it what format of video you want and like what type of text that you want on the video for it to come up. So you upload, it's really for any of these AI video editing tools, you upload the long form video. Let's just say it's a YouTube video or a video of your podcast or what have you. You upload that video, the AI tool will, in this case here that we're talking about is Opus Clip, the AI will take that long form video, find engaging clips within that video all by itself and do the editing and cutting for you.
So it has some sort of definition of what is most engaging or most interesting, and maybe that's the part that it's continuing to learn and hone in on?
Yes. And that is the opportunity, I think, for these AI video editing tools, for example, is I think there's still a big opportunity to improve. Now, because it can grab a clip and it can seem great, but it might not have the context that it needs from like an earlier piece or earlier part of the video. But Opus Clip, for example, is sort of the best one that I've found.
Just to vouch for that, because of that recommendation, I've experimented and used it, and it is like magic. I mean, I was also paying somebody at one point a couple years ago thousands of dollars a month to repurpose these longer form videos in our podcast episodes. And Opus Clip took a 1 hour podcast and with video, right? It was a video that was recorded using Squadcast, so I had the video part of the podcast to go along with the audio. And it magically just selected 10 different parts of it. Yep. And I would say 3 or 4 of them were pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Right. The six of them were like, well, this doesn't make sense, or a person who just sees this on social is not going to get it. But the ones that it did get, I mean, I just used them. I put them on social, and that's it. That's all that I had to do. So saving hours of time, like you said, saving loads of money. And now it's just a matter of, and this is where I want to get to, it's not just like, and I appreciate that recommendation, but we keep seeing a lot of recommendations for, use this tool for this, use this tool for that, use this for this. Yep. It's when you can, and you've taught me this, when you can bake that into how you do what you normally do in your systems, right? The systemization of it, that's where the magic happens, right? So where do we go from there?
Yeah, this is where, for everybody listening that has resisted creating SOPs, standard operating procedures in their business, this is where the use of AI, this is where creating SOPs is critical. Yeah. So how do you, just as an example, how might you write an email? Like, what's your process for that? What is your process for putting together webinar slides? What's your process for writing a blog? Like what is the process for that and having it documented? Because then you can figure out where within that process can AI maybe help you out. Yeah. And so that's little micro. If we go a little bit more macro, people are always like, well, I don't even know where to start. incorporate, I don't even know where AI could help me in the business.
Yeah, so where do we begin?
So I put together I've created this like acronym, I call it the APT framework. And so APT is APPTT. A is assess. So basically looking at your business and figuring out what are all the things I do in my business? Like literally writing them out. Like we send an email newsletter, we do a podcast, we do a YouTube channel, et cetera, et cetera. Then from there, the first P is prioritize. Which of the things that you've just listed out are the biggest pains in the butt, if you will, that if you get off your plate would free up the most energy, the most time for you. Then the next P is plan. So, okay, great. We've prioritized what would be the biggest opportunities for you. Now let's plan. Meaning, okay, how do we do those things? How do we, do that podcast episode, putting it together? How do we write those blog posts? Whatever it might be. Then after that, and within that plan, it's what AI tools could be most helpful for accomplishing these things. Is it ChatGPT? Is it Claude? Is it Fireflies? Whatever it might be.
Yeah, people listening don't even know what those things are. So,
and I'm happy to give an example.
Okay. Yeah.
So then the first T is to test. So, all right, we've identified something that we want to accomplish in the business that we want to start using AI for. And now we've identified which tool or what that process might look like. Now, okay, let's test it out. Let's see if this works or not. And then the last T is, let's just say that, okay, cool, this is working. We're watching it, it's evolving, meaning like, we want to make sure it doesn't work just once, that it works multiple times. Meaning like, oh, this is something that I can incorporate into my weekly workflow in the business. And then the last T, for everybody who has a team, and this is the key thing, is you teach people on your team how to do this so that they take it over. So, perfect example. If you're a coach, you do coaching calls. Yep. So you record the calls on Zoom. Okay. And then you send over notes to your coaching client afterwards. And then you want to email them to them. Okay. Well, that could be a pretty time-intensive process because you're either taking notes during the coaching call.
Right. And not focused.
And not focused, right? Or afterwards, you're going back through, taking notes, and then going through and sending them.
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
Yeah, that's taking way too long.
Okay.
So
teach me.
You can record. Obviously, you're recording with Zoom. Mm-hmm. Well, one way to do it is Zoom has transcription already built into it, as long as you're recording to the cloud. Or you can use a tool like Fireflies.ai, which joins your coaching call.
I've seen that before.
Quote, joins the call. I mean, it's like a member of the call.
Yeah.
But it's transcribing everything.
As it's happening.
Yeah. So then you have that transcription, and Fireflies has other functionalities in there, like it'll highlight sentiment from the transcription or from the call and other things like that. I've never been a big fan of it outside of just the transcription.
Okay.
But from there, you could have that transcription saved to a folder, like a Google Drive folder, and maybe all this is set up within Zapier, right? So when the transcription or the video file hits the Google Drive folder, there's an automation that takes that transcript and sends it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT takes that transcript now, and you've trained ChatGPT in this case to kick out whatever it is that you want from that call. A summary, action items, deliverables, and it will give you that output.
Where does it give it to you?
Well, that's where you tell it to. So you could tell it, this would be in Zapier, right?
Yeah.
Or Make or whatever you want, make.com. So once it does the kick out of the output there, of your notes, then you can have it send it to Slack. It can Slack you to let you know that the notes are ready. It could notify somebody on your team to have the team member send those notes to your client.
Could it hypothetically Slack my coaching student who is in Slack?
Absolutely.
Like it just does it?
Yes. However, this is where I would definitely recommend having that human be checking the notes.
Okay, just to make sure.
Just to make sure that, what ChatGPT took from it is what you would like to pass on. So I wouldn't necessarily send it directly to your coaching
That
client.
makes sense. For a coaching student who's paying you, that makes sense. But
Exactly.
there are instances where you would want something fired off immediately to a team member without having to review it and saving a little bit more time that way.
So the only thing that you're doing in this whole thing is, either you're obviously doing the coaching call,
right?
But then you set this process up once, or somebody on your team sets it up, and you now have this process that is running in the background of your business, which is saving you a ton of time.
That's really cool.
And so that's the idea, is like looking at where in your business are you doing things, especially those repetitive things that you're doing all the time, that you can leverage AI tools to help you with that. And that's just one example that we just went through.
Could I hypothesize? I'm just going to make this up on the spot.
Go for it.
When I do a coaching call and finish it, it sends the notes or whatever to a place where I can then review them. But it also adds like a ticker or adds to an Excel sheet that I have as far as like tracking how many of these that I do per week.
Yep.
Then can I have it like text message me and say, "Good job, Pat. Keep going."
Sure, you can.
Yeah. How would you do that?
I would do all that in Zapier.
Okay, so Zapier is sort of the magic sort of connector between different tools and how they talk to each other.
Zapier is it's setting up the automation.
Okay.
Right? What most people are thinking about in terms of AI, they're thinking about
just the individual tool.
Yeah.
That's how I think about it.
And that's fine. There's a ton of benefit, but it's like, look, if there are things that we do in the business every single week, how could we automate a lot of that? And when I say automate, I'm not removing the personalization. I'm just saying, how can we set this up so that it becomes so much faster, frees up your time, and thus frees up your energy? Right. What a lot of people are using ChatGPT for is pretty basic writing stuff.
That's how I mostly use it. Hey, ChatGPT, give me 10 ideas for a YouTube video about blank.
Yep.
Or, write a description for a thumbnail, or even create a thumbnail now, because DALL-E is connected to it for the Pro plan.
Yep.
And then I like get the thing done that I needed, and then I got it. Like it doesn't automatically put it somewhere or anything like that.
Yep. And that's, I kind of look at that as sort of level 1, if you will.
So I'm on level 1.
You're higher up.
Like 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So level 1 would just be exactly what you just said. So you're using, say, like a ChatGPT to come up with ideas, write something, expand on something, do research, come up with contrarian views to something that you're, like a topic that you're talking about, that sort of thing, which is great because that in and of itself saves a ton of time. Now, there's I like to look at it like different levels within that. Something that not a lot of people do in how they use ChatGPT, for example, is let's just say that you had this framework that you, like let's just say Blue Ocean strategy.
Okay.
Most people know Blue Ocean strategy. And it's basically just like creating something that sets you apart. So let's just say you've heard of it, but don't necessarily know exactly what it is. All right, so you can ask ChatGPT, like, can you please explain to me what the Blue Ocean strategy is? You can then take that and use it within your prompt. So let's just say you're trying to come up with a lead magnet idea.
Ooh, okay.
And you can use, obviously, ChatGPT to come up with lead magnet ideas. But taking it a step further is you can tell ChatGPT, I want you to come up with, like in basic, we could go through the prompt format, which I think would be really important.
Okay, we'll finish on that.
In simplicity's sake, though, for simplicity's sake, you can tell ChatGPT, I want you to come up with 5 different lead magnet ideas. This is my audience, this is what I do in my business, etc. But I want you to come up with these ideas through the lens of the blue ocean strategy. Here is the blue ocean strategy. And you're just using what ChatGPT just told you that the blue ocean strategy is. So you're asking ChatGPT to help you through the lens of something.
So this level 1 is just using. Level 2, if this is called level 2, is training.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so this is where you really start to get into some really cool outputs, if you will, that ChatGPT can give you.
Oh, I've actually done something like this. So I've taught in one of the chats that I have with ChatGPT, I've taught it my writing style. I've uploaded several different emails in my own words. And every time I have an email idea now, and sometimes that idea comes from ChatGPT, sometimes it comes from me, sometimes it comes from somebody else, I tell ChatGPT, hey, here are the 5 points I want to make in this email. Write this email in the style of Pat Flynn. Is that kind of like what we're talking about?
Yeah.
And then it writes it out, and then I double check it. It doesn't automatically get sent, but it saves me a ton of time, and I just have to change maybe a few words instead of write the whole thing from scratch.
So you use Slack in your business?
I do.
So what if you set up, going back to taking it a step further, you set up an automation, you've trained ChatGPT, right? And now it has learned your voice.
Yeah.
Let's just say you set up a new channel in Slack that says email ideas. You put your idea in that Slack channel and you send the message. That triggers the automation. So that it does all that for you that you just described and writes your email for you.
All in Slack.
Yep.
I don't even have to go to ChatGPT.
Nope.
Amazing.
I mean, that's still very basic, but that's sort of next level stuff.
You're like, Pat, you have no idea what's going on. And this is what I love about what we've been talking about. I always seem to learn something new from you like this every time we chat. And this is what people are able to learn on your YouTube channel. You're showing people the connection pieces between these tools that we all see.
Yep. Yeah, like the whole goal with the YouTube channel and my newsletter, I've started a quote official newsletter.
Oh, really? Yeah. Where are those things at?
The newsletter is called AI-ify. So I call it like, this is what we're talking about is like AI-ifying your business.
I like it. And the YouTube channel is?
YouTube channel is Rick Mulready.
Okay.
AI-ify newsletter, just go to my website, rickmulready.com. Either you can opt in for the ChatGPT prompts lead magnet, or there's a button right at the top that says free newsletter. That's every week.
Nice.
My whole goal with this is to, and hopefully what I'm doing here is like just trying to simplify this, because it can be a very complex topic.
Yeah.
And my goal is just to simplify this. There's a ton of people out there, like really well respected, who report on AI.
Yeah. Shout out Matt Wolf.
You're awesome, Matt Wolf is great. He's just reporting on this stuff though, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I want to take it a step further and say, okay, whatever.
Like this tool that Matt talked about would be perfect for like a coach or a writer.
How do you actually use this stuff and implement it, integrate it into your business?
That's so needed right now. It's just, okay, that sounds cool, but how do I use this? And that's
exactly. Or on the flip side of that, hey, everybody's talking about this tool. This is why I don't think it's a good idea. And that's really what I'm talking about on the YouTube channel. Taking that approach of, implementation and actually how do you use this in your business and where it can fit, but in a simplistic way. We're not trying to add complexity.
I love that. Well, I think it's definitely needed. I think it's exciting, and I don't see the topic of AI or the amount of tools that keep coming out slowing down anytime soon. So I think you're setting yourself up really well here, and complementing these other people who've were quick on the on the jump, which is really neat and definitely useful for those of us listening. Now, before we finish up, I want to talk about the prompts, because prompts are very important, not just for ChatGPT but for everything. Is there how do we go about thinking about something other than just like make me a clown? How do you
Do you do that a lot with
No.
your Come on.
I misquoted that. That's supposed to be "Make me a bicycle clown" or something like that from Wedding Crashers.
Right.
Anyway, what are the best practices for prompting?
Yeah. So what I've learned about prompting, I've got to give major props to Rachel Woods over at the AI Exchange. She's taught me a lot about prompting. I've kind of added my own stuff to it as I've gone along. So you will get better results when you're using ChatGPT or Claude or Bard when you follow sort of a format. So number one, the first thing you want to do is tell ChatGPT who you want it to be. I want you to act as.
To literally tell it you are a
world-class, I love world-class for some reason.
Okay.
You are a world-class podcast scriptwriter.
Okay.
You write scripts for some of the top podcasts in the world. Now you've given it context. You've given it
You're almost programming
a reference point to start with.
Okay.
Because if you don't start with that, you'll get an output. It'll be okay, but it's not through that lens, right? You are a business strategist. You are a world-class conversion copywriter.
You're CMO. You are a writer. You are a...
You name it.
Whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. Tell it who you want it to be or how you want it to act.
Can you give it a name?
Totally. I mean, and by the way, here's a little side tip. I always say please and thank you.
Dude, me too.
Always.
It's like a superstition.
You never know. You never know.
You didn't say, you asked so much of us, and now we're here conquering the world. You're cool. You said please.
I will spare you. So I always say thank you and please.
Okay.
So tell it how you want it to act, who you want it to be.
Okay.
And you can put a little bit of context in when you do that. Then the next section is the context section. This is where you would put the tone of voice. Like if you've taught it to write or speak in your voice, this is where it would go in the context section. If you are giving it your target audience, context section. So the context section is super important, again, because you are setting ChatGPT up to give you the output, whatever the output that you're looking for, through the lens of these things.
Got it.
And your context might be one bullet point, might be 7 bullet points, just whatever you're asking it for. The next section is the criteria.
Is this all in one prompt, or
This is one prompt.
Okay.
All in one prompt. So just as an example, for criteria, I was using ChatGPT yesterday to help me write sections of a YouTube script. So I was giving it criteria of the output needs to be able to be read within a minute.
Ooh.
So that is a criteria.
And that's important because as a YouTuber, that you need to be concise.
That is my biggest thing I'm working on right now. Having podcasted for 10 years,
right.
I can be very long-winded. So that is something I'm working on. But I'm using ChatGPT, for example, to help me take something and pare it down. So I'm giving it criteria to work with. And again, that's just one bullet point for this example.
Yep.
And then the next thing is the instructions, what most people want to jump right to. This is where you're telling it what you want it to do. So I want you to write a YouTube script based on everything I've just mentioned, and again, you're just telling it what you want it to do at that point. Context could be the topic of
or how it might be used.
How it might be used. It could be like if you're creating a lead magnet and you want ideas, the lead magnet idea must be able to be consumed and give the person a win within 15 minutes. The last part of this is in the context, and you can reference it below, actually really anywhere in the prompt except for maybe criteria. ChatGPT works best when you give it examples. So when you have an example of something that you really like, so maybe it's an email that's been written or an article or whatever it might be, you're giving it something to sort of model. Your results will be way better when you do that. So now you've got your complete prompt. Now, for everybody listening, they might be like, well, that is a lot, Rick, in one prompt. That is where you're going to get better results. Now, the mistake that a lot of people make with this is that when ChatGPT or Claude or what have you gives you that output, they're like, cool, I'm done. I'm going to take that and I'm going to use it for whatever.
Yeah.
And don't do that. Number one, I'd recommend just, does it pass the test of like, is this what I was looking for? Is this good? Mm-hmm. And then if you're like, okay, yes, this is good, I can use this, then take it and put some personality into it. This is where you're putting your own personal touches to it. Now, the idea is the better at prompting that you get, the less editing you'll have to do.
Okay.
But it really is an art of doing this. Yeah. This is not just like a one and done. Most people get frustrated after they prompt it, and then they're like, oh man, this didn't work.
A little waste of time.
Yeah. What's everybody talking about? I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Yeah.
It's just an art. It's just like getting better at it, like with everything. It's just practice. And if for everybody listening, if you're ever stuck at what you should be asking it, it's going to get super meta, but ask ChatGPT, what should the prompt be if I want to get an email written, for example. And if you're not sure what to include in the context, for example, ask it, what questions do you need to know, or what things do you need to know in order to accomplish X?
Yeah.
And it'll tell you. And then you just give it that information, and it's helping you get the best results from it.
Got it. Do you have a place the audience can go to kind of see this in action, or any copy paste type things, resources?
That's the PDF I put together.
Okay.
And depending on when this goes live, I'm going to just create a mini course out of it over 5 days. So people can download the PDF, but I'm also going to deliver it over 5 days, like a prompt each day.
Cool.
So I have prompts in there about like how to teach ChatGPT to your tone of voice, your style, how to ChatGPT to write an SOP. Which it can do super, super fast. How to write an email sequence, like other things. I think it's 7 ChatGPT prompts that are going to be really helpful for any online business owner.
Nice. Man.
So they can just go to my website.
So where? Just rickmulready.com?
Yeah, rickmulready.com.
Okay. Well, you heard it here. And Rick, I appreciate you coming on the show and going on this. I don't know I should have kept track of how many miles we walked.
I know.
Typically my watch goes on.
I know, mine didn't either.
Maybe we weren't going fast enough.
That means I didn't walk today.
No, this was really cool. So Rick, thank you so much. Congrats on the new direction. I'm excited to see where it takes you, especially being on YouTube, which I think is perfect for the subject matter that you're obviously very passionate about and we should all be paying attention to. So
we're just scratching the surface here today.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yep.
So I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much.
Man. Appreciate you.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Rick Mulready. Definitely check out Rick Mulready and his podcast, his YouTube channel. We'll have all the links on the show notes at smartpassiveincome.com/session759. It's definitely got my mind going. I mean, I know that I use AI and I have used it very successfully on a level 1 to 1.5 basis. I'm ready to level up and start these automations. I'm going to dive into Zapier, and Rick has a lot of examples on his YouTube channel, which is pretty brand new. I've just been very encouraged by how he has dove into this, and I've been helping him out as well as far as utilizing YouTube, and he's going all in on it. And I think the fact that he's niching into specifically not just AI, but AI for businesses and the application, or as he says, the AI-ification, I love that. Go ahead and check him out. And thank you for listening in. I appreciate you. I hope for those of you who are looking for those AI strategies, this is a great starting point. And definitely check out Rick and his YouTube channel for more applications for you and your business, because there's definitely going to be some stuff that is there that's useful for you, and there will be some stuff coming out, I'm sure, stuff that we can't even think about or don't even know exists yet, that will be applicable to us as well. So here is to the year of AI, but not just randomly getting distracted by it, but rather using it, utilizing it, and getting some great value from it too. So cheers, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. thank you so much for listening to the Smart Passive Income podcast at smartpassiveincome.com. I'm your host, Pat Flynn. Sound editing by Duncan Brown. Our senior producer is David Grabowski, and our executive producer is Matt Gartland. The Smart Passive Income podcast is a production of SPI Media and a proud member of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network. Catch you next week. Have you dreamt about being your own boss, but still haven't made the first steps to making that dream a reality? Well, I get that. Starting a business can feel super overwhelming with legal forms, paperwork, finances. It's a lot. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Taylor Brands. Taylor is a complete business builder designed to make launching your business simple and stress-free. You can register your LLC in just minutes, keeping your personal assets and the business assets separate from day one. From there, you get access to everything you need to get off the ground. Legal documents, licenses and permits, invoicing and bookkeeping tools, and even a 100-day business coaching program, all designed to help you hit the ground running. You'll also get a free personalized business plan, branding tools, and so much more. And of course, listeners of this show get an exclusive 35% discount to get started. All you have to do is head to taylorbrands.com/SPI. That's TAILORBRANDS.com/SPI. Stop dreaming, start building with Taylor Brands. Look, I get it. You want to grow your business, but trying to sell to hundreds or even thousands of people gets very exhausting very fast. But what if you could sell at scale with a simple, powerful quiz? ScoreApp helps you sell to more people without adding more to your plate. You build a quiz or assessment that your audience actually wants to take. Then they answer a few quick questions and get a personalized result right away. It shows them where they're at and what they need to do next and how you can help. And you build huge amounts of trust before you make even a single offer. No hard sell, no chasing leads, just value at scale. Get 50% off the first 3 months using the discount code SPI. All you have to do is just head to scoreapp.com/SPI. Again, that's scoreapp.com/SPI.